Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I hear the Lakers are interested in getting a center, and I crapped all over the idea of bringing in Robert Williams III in my previous video. Uh, but for Gabe Vincent, I would get it done. I would do that. I think that little of Gabe at this point, and the salaries almost match. I think you have to throw in like another $2 million contract. Now the thing about it is the Lakers would probably be willing to throw in Jalen Hood-Schifino, but in this trade I absolutely would not throw Jalen Hood-Schifino. But I do understand the risk of the Lakers not trading Jalen Hood-Schifino and letting him expire. So I do expect the Lakers will trade Jalen Hood-Schifino, and maybe he could be thrown in a trade with Portland, but not if I'm only getting back Robert Williams III. That's the upside and the possibility of Jalen Hood-Schifino to me should not be a throw in without real genuine equity in return. I understand that he hasn't shown anything in our uniform, but I'm also watching a bunch of people who didn't show anything in our uniform show something in other people's uniforms. So I'm not throwing in my 17th overall pick just to fill my center need. But if they're willing to take Jackson Hayes and, well, I probably shouldn't throw in Jackson Hayes for the need of the center position. I probably should have Jackson and Robert and Koloko. So it's like, that's probably not the move either, especially when I expect Robert Williams to literally play 12 games a season. But for Gabe Vincent, the salaries don't match. It's like $300,000 off. So I don't know how you fix that. But for whatever reason, it did allow me to throw on an extra $4 million worth of um, Jackson Hayes. So I think, to be honest with you, it then becomes a conversation of how much do I care for Gabe Vincent as a player on the team right now, and can I throw him in for laundry detergent? Um, that's the question. And then the other question is, if I'm going to do something like that and it takes Jackson Hayes to make the move, is that adequate equity going out for us taking back Robert Williams? The player, yes, Robert Williams, when he's healthy, is most definitely worth that to me. The Robert Williams I know with the degenerative knees that only going to play like 12 games a season, I'm always going to miss him. I'd rather have Jackson Hayes as it pertains to just having this healthy body that I know is going to be in place. I trust Jackson, who is hurt right now for another week or two, to be more healthy, to be available more so than um, than Robert Williams. I don't trust Robert's ever going to stay healthy, you guys. That's what it really comes down to. I would take a flyer on Robert Williams just to get rid of Gabe Vincent, but that those salaries don't match. Um, it's frustrating because now you're asking me to throw in something else, and that something else I probably don't want to throw in. I'm just being honest with you. That's what it comes down to for me. I do need a center, but if it's going to take a center to lose a center, that's not a game that we can afford to play when the center we're bringing back is less likely to stay healthy than the center we're sending out. So that's really, really important we get that right. A lot of people, they really don't care for Jalen Hood-Schifino at all, and they would be happy to throw him into a trade like this because they look at him as absolute and utter garbage worth throwing away, sort of like I'm looking at Gabe Vincent. But to be honest with you, I think that that's been a big mistake, and we're seeing the results of that. We're gonna watch the results of that tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies in about an hour. So I'm not really comfortable with sending out our 17th overall pick just as a throw in because people think of him as trash. I don't think that's smart of us. I think in fact, I would rather us find a way to throw him into a trade that brings me back somebody young, or throw him into um, the mix free agent wise, also known as let him walk, and re-sign him and bring him back to our situation so we can continue the process of developing that young player, and let it be something that's not as a priority as to move on from him just because people just don't believe in him. The current regime, with all due respect to everybody who's with the Lakers, by the time he actually develops, you guys could be gone. You know what I'm saying? Like it may take 4 years for him to develop. The urgency for him to develop, in my opinion, should be more of a priority to the Lakers long term than what we're willing to let happen with Jalen. I don't I don't care that Jalen can't play today at 20 years old. He's 21 years old. I don't care that he sucks right now. I literally don't. I look at that the same way I look at Bronny James. I don't care that it's going to take 4 years for Bronny James to develop. I could care less. As long as it's not essential that he play now, I can wait. for him to develop into what he's going to. As long as it takes, however far down the pipeline it is before he's productive, I don't care, bro. Let him be a part of the future. But that we're about to throw him away to get like Robert Williams III, I don't blame people for seeing him as trash. A lot of people, that's all he's shown. And I don't blame people for saying, well, we lost out on that pick and that's it and it's over with. Let's just cash out. Again, not something I disagree with, but he's a 21-year-old point guard, and it takes 4 years for guys to really develop. And if you have an injury year, add a couple of years to that development process. I don't think it is in the Lakers' best interest to give up on Jalen Hood-Schifino, even though they've given up on Jalen Hood-Schifino, if that makes any sense. If you can bring him back and continue his development, it's probably what a team like us, who's been giving away young players and having them get better elsewhere, need to be considering doing anyway. And that's what I'm here to say about Jalen. So no, I wouldn't be throwing him into no deal to get Robert Williams, nor would I be throwing in Max Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm holding on to those guys and I'm ignoring whatever the hell they're worth right now. It's like a meme stock, you know what I mean? You just hold on to it for as long as it takes. You don't care if it bottoms out because it's money you can afford to lose. That's kind of how I'm looking at Jalen Hood-Schifino right now. He's already lost. So what's the use of me just throwing him away? I need something to pop, and he's more likely to pop than what it is I'm bringing back in return for him as I move him. So the risk of him signing elsewhere is a real thing. And that's why I don't blame anybody for trading him ultimately, if that's what it comes to. But let's throw him into a trade that gets us back something that we can count on, not just throwing him to get a Band-Aid center who's likely going to be hurt his damn self. You know what I mean? Like, nah. So that's my thing. Valanciunas, I just know, I know we need a center as bad as to say anything that you were out on in regards to the center position, you probably should get back into in regards to the center position, because that's how bad it is for us right now. $12 million a year in the grand scheme of things for Valanciunas probably doesn't look that bad when you look at some of the other contracts that are out there. If it takes Gabe Vincent to get him, like, you obviously want to consider that. So I'm not out on Valanciunas if we can move Gabe to get him. But again, same deal. If I'm sending out young player X who's going to turn into something nice in a Wizards uniform, like, I'm not bailing the Wizards out, bro. I'm not. And that's exactly how I look at giving them Max Lewis or Jalen Hood-Schifino. That's giving them another young, talented player in their tanking situation that most definitely can develop very well and triple and quadruple in value for them. This is a franchise that's waiting on Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis was drafted early in the first round 5 years ago, and they're still developing him. I'm not giving them anybody that they're undoubtedly going to get something out of. I'm not doing that. Not when it comes to young players. We need young players. Washington most definitely doesn't need young players. Not coming from anyone who needs them. That's for damn sure. So, no, won't be doing that. They're not getting any of my prospects. I'm tired of being a farm system for other teams, man. Listening to a Memphis guy on Laker Nation today who was, helping, prepare everybody for the game. He was essentially saying, thank you, Lakers, for being a farm system for Memphis. I am not a farm system for freaking Memphis. Like, literally not. That has to stop. That needs to stop right now, Rob Pelinka. So that's where I'm at with that, man. If you can get me Robert Williams, find a way to finesse that situation without me giving up young players, I don't see the harm in bringing another player in that can fill in the center position for maybe, at the most probably like 40 games. That's all he's going to do. And that's the sad thing about it. He's a really, really talented player, but he is incredibly consistent injury-wise. You can bank on it. He's going down. When you bring him back, he's going down. He's going to play great for about 12 to 40 games. But any expectation beyond that, you're on borrowed time with his health. It's a fact. He's probably going to have to retire at some point very soon, in my opinion. I don't think there's much left. I really don't. But if you bring him here and I'm wrong, then hooray, because Robert Williams is an amazing defender and a hell of an energy guy, and rim protection and all of that beautiful stuff is worth Gabe Vincent. That's for damn sure. It's definitely worth moving on from Gabe Vincent. But anything more than that, second round picks, anything like that, I'm throwing them all away because I don't trust him to stay healthy to that degree. Like, I wouldn't throw in a second round pick for Robert Williams. I really wouldn't, because I think that pick could likely garner more equity later on than Robert Williams' health is going to provide me right now. So that's the truth, man. I would love for the Lakers to turn Gabe Vincent into Robert Williams. Even this little bit of Robert Williams is worth moving on from that garbage Gabe Vincent contract. It is 3 years of jogging, a little man jogging around that I care not to see. So that's why I'm like, yo, get me a center if you could do that. For Gabe Vincent, that's a million times of a yes. So that's really what I got to say. And there are other situations where I would add Gabe Vincent and a second round pick to get a different center that's more likely to stay healthy. So I just want to put that out there as well. This conservative nature of not wanting to throw anything is specific to the health expectations of certain players, particularly two players that come to mind immediately: Mitchell Robinson and Robert Williams. I don't trust them to stay healthy. They're brittle, and every time you think you have them for any length of time, they're out for a length of time. It's just not. I see the light. Neither one of them dudes are to be invested in any way at all. BDL44, I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.